Welcome to Vicky Whispers, your quiet haven for relaxation and renewal. Here in this peaceful space, sleep stories and bedtime stories are lovingly crafted to guide you into deep sleep, helping you unwind and embrace the best sleep time. Take a moment now to settle in. Find a position that feels most comfortable, whether you're lying down in bed, wrapped in a soft blanket, or resting in your favorite cozy chair. Feel the surface beneath you, steady and supportive, as if it's holding you in a warm, gentle embrace. Let's start with a breath. Breathe in slowly and deeply through your nose. Feel your chest rise as you draw in calmness. Hold it for a quiet moment, and then release it gently through your mouth. With each exhale, let go of the tension you've been carrying, like leaves falling softly from a tree. Feel your shoulders ease, your hands rest lightly, and your body grow heavier with relaxation. Close your eyes if you wish, or let them soften, gazing unfocused into the dim glow of the room. Picture yourself in a tranquil space, a quiet forest where the wind whispers through the trees, or a serene lakeside bathed in moonlight. Let this place become your retreat, a sanctuary where you feel safe, calm, and deeply at peace. Each breath you take is an invitation to let go, to let your mind grow quiet, your body grow still, and your spirit prepare for rest. There is no need to rush, no need to hold on. This is your time to relax, to unwind, and to get sleepy. As my voice guides you through tonight's bedtime story, feel each word carrying you closer to the peaceful stillness of sleep. Let the rhythm of the story lull you like gentle waves on a quiet shore, soft and steady, drawing you into the heart of serenity. Breathe in deeply once more, and out. With every breath, feel yourself sinking deeper into comfort, as though the world around you is wrapping you in softness and light. You are exactly where you need to be. This is your moment to let go, to embrace the calm, to welcome deep sleep and to experience the best sleep time. The day is done, and this is your gift to yourself, a journey into peace and renewal. Now, let the story carry you. Let the words guide you to rest. You are safe. You are calm. And you are ready. Let's begin. The White Snake by Grimm Brothers, modified and read by Viktor Hejna. Long ago, in a kingdom renowned for its beauty and prosperity, there ruled a king whose wisdom and insight were legendary. Whispers among his subjects claimed that nothing could escape his knowledge. Secrets, no matter how well guarded, seemed to float to him on the very air. Some said it was his sharp mind. Others believed it was magic, but none dared question him openly. However, the king harbored a peculiar habit that puzzled even his closest advisors. Each evening, after the royal feast had concluded and the grand hall had emptied, a trusted servant was summoned. This servant, bound by duty and an unspoken promise of silence, would deliver a single covered dish to the king's private chamber. What the dish contained remained a mystery, for the servant was forbidden to look beneath the cover, and no one else was ever present. For years, this ritual unfolded without incident, until one fateful evening when curiosity gripped the servant with an intensity he could not longer resist. After delivering the dish, he retreated to his small room, locking the door behind him, heart pounding with a mix of fear and anticipation. He lifted the cover to reveal an unexpected sight: a white snake coiled elegantly on the plate, its scales gleaming like polished pearls. Compelled by an urge he couldn't explain, the servant sliced a small piece of the snake and tasted it. The moment it touched his tongue, his senses heightened, and a symphony of whispers filled his ears. Rushing to the window, he realized the voices came from sparrows perched in the trees outside. To his astonishment, he could understand their chirping as if they spoke in his native tongue. The white snake had granted him the extraordinary gift of comprehending the language of animals. The next day brought trouble. The queen's favorite ring, a treasure of unparalleled beauty and sentimental value, had vanished. Suspicion fell upon the servant, for his access to the royal chambers made him an easy target. Despite his protests of innocence, the king decreed that unless the servant identified the thief by dawn, he would be executed. Panicked and desperate, the servant wandered into the courtyard. As twilight descended, his newfound gift soon proved invaluable. By a brook near the palace gardens, a group of ducks rested, preening their feathers and sharing tales of the day. Listening intensely, the servant caught a snippet of their conversation. "Something lies heavy in my stomach," lamented one duck. "In my haste to eat beneath the queen's window, I swallowed a shiny ring." Acting swiftly, the servant captured the duck and brought it to the royal cook. "This duck must be prepared at once," he insisted. Reluctantly, the cook complied, and as the bird was cleaned, the queen's ring tumbled out. The servant's innocence was proven, and the king, both relieved and impressed, granted him a reward. But the servant asked only for a modest sum of gold and a horse, desiring to explore the world beyond the palace walls. His request was granted, and he set off with a light heart and a curious mind. As he journeyed through forests and fields, the servant's gift brought him into contact with creatures in need. One day, he came upon 3 fish struggling in the shallows of a drying pond. Though fish are often considered silent, he heard their cries for help. Dismounting, he gently returned them to deep water. In gratitude, the fish promised, "We will remember your kindness." Later, in a dense forest, the servant nearly trampled an anthill. The frantic cries of the ants stopped him in his tracks. Their leader, the ant king, scolded him for his carelessness, but the servant apologized and guided his horse onto a different path. "We will remember your thoughtfulness," the ant king assured him. In another part of the forest, he encountered a pair of ravens casting their fledglings from the nest. "You are grown now," the parents caved. "Survive on your own or perish." The helpless chicks floundered on the ground, unable to fly. Moved by their plight, the servant made a heartbreaking decision. He sacrificed his horse to provide them with sustenance. As they fed, the young ravens croaked, "We will not forget your sacrifice." Eventually, the servant arrived in a bustling city where the streets buzzed with news of the king's daughter. The princess, renowned for her beauty and intellect, sought a husband, but the suitor had to prove his worth by completing an impossible task. retrieving a golden ring cast into the depths of the sea. Failure meant certain death. Undeterred, the servant declared himself a contender. The following day, he stood on the shore as the golden ring was hurled into the waves. Alone and uncertain, he gazed at the vast ocean, despair creeping into his heart. But help was near. The 3 fish he had saved surfaced, bearing a mussel in their mouths. Within the shell lay the golden ring. Overjoyed, the servant presented it to the king. Yet the princess, though impressed, was not ready to yield her hand. "Before you can wed me," she decreed, "you must gather 10 sacks of milled seed scattered throughout the palace garden. Not a single grain must be missing by dawn." The servant, overwhelmed by the enormity of the task, spent a sleepless night in despair. But as the first light of dawn touched the garden, he discovered the sacks filled to the brim. The Ant King and his army had toiled through the night, repaying his earlier kindness. The princess was astonished, but still hesitated. "One final task," she said. "Bring me an apple from the tree of life." The tree of life was a mythical wonder, set to grow in a land beyond reach. The servant set out with little hope, but unwavering determination. After wandering through many kingdoms, he collapsed beneath the tree, exhausted. As he drifted into sleep, a rustling overhead roused him. 3 ravens descended, one clutching a golden apple in his beak. "We flew to the end of the earth to fetch this for you," they called. "Your sacrifice saved us, and now we repay our debt." With the apple in hand, the servant returned to the princess. Her pride finally gave way to admiration and love. Together, they shared the apple, its magic filling their hearts with boundless joy and devotion. They married in a grand celebration and ruled the kingdom with wisdom and kindness, living happily for many years. And so the servant's journey proved that acts of kindness, no matter how small, can shape destinies and conquer even the proudest of hearts. Good night.